Unlock your dream property with Meeks Realty Group, where Rich the Realtor makes real estate dreams a reality. Whether it's residential or commercial, we've got Charleston to Huntington covered. Your key to exceptional real estate experiences start here. Meeks Realty Group. Contact us at meeks.us.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
Hey, folks, a good Tuesday morning to you, and welcome to the show. Senior producer Ryan Nicholson is back with us this morning. Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. We're in the Jarrett Construction Studios, right on time, right on budget. Visit jarrett-construction.com. Phone calls to the show, a service of Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly, Spring Street, Charleston. Texting service provided by West Virginia's finest men's store, Tony the Taylor on Virginia Street. Tony's Holiday Trunk Show happening Thursday. For more, check out Tony on Facebook or bestmastertaylor.com. Tuesday edition of the show, snow, ice, rain, sleet, locust. We had just about all of it, depending on where you were this morning, and it continued, but it's all going to come to an end a little bit later on the day. We'll have more on that coming up a little bit later. Also, as more and more communities get ready to celebrate the Christmas holiday, we're going to go to Clendenin and talk to Mayor Kay Summers about what they are doing up there with their Christmas on Main Street. She sent me some beautiful pics last night of that, so we'll talk to the mayor about that. Also, this Friday and Saturday, the state football championships are going to be played, of course, at Laidley Field here in Charleston. Tim Brady from the Charleston Convention Visitors Bureau is here, and we'll get into some other stuff in the news as well. And your calls and texts are always welcome. Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. Also, Sean Hill from KRT is here. But I want to start off by talking to our good friend from Festival, Zach Harold. How you doing, man?
Good morning, man. How are you?
I am doing fine. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us.
All right. So what you got going on here?
Big announcement.
Big announcement, Ryan. Ready?
Festival 2026. We've set the dates. It's going to start on May 22nd, and we're going to go for 10 full days of programming, running from May 22nd to May 31st, 2026.
Now, this is going to be your first one as the director, because you came on when it was already, I guess, Yeah, it was already planned at that point.
I started in August, so my first official event was our fall event, Festival, in October. So this will be my first actual festival. And we had a little bit of an abbreviated, I wasn't on board yet. We had an abbreviated festival in 2025. It was one weekend, but this year we're back for 10 days.
Back to the full day. And give us the dates again.
May 22nd through the 31st.
And on a morning like today, and we're not even officially in.
I'm already living in spring, man. That's all I'm thinking about.
We haven't even officially entered winter. We're in what's known as meteorological winter, right. But winter doesn't officially start until sometime later in the month. But you're already thinking about spring.
It doesn't affect me at all. All I'm thinking about is May.
All right. So what have you been up to so far? I mean, I know with the planning and everything, because now I think when we talked to you before, you were just kind of getting your feet wet a little bit. Now that your feet are soaked, what are we doing now?
Well, one other thing we launched today, and if you want to check it out on festivalcharleston.com, we launched an application if people have ideas for events or art installations, anything like that they'd like to see in Festival 2026. There's an application on the website you can fill out. Our organization's got 22 years of experience putting on stuff in Charleston, and if somebody's got a great idea and they just wonder how to get it off the ground, we can provide some support for them and help them make it a reality. And we'd love, somebody's got a great idea, we'd love to include it in Festival.
And that's what I love about this. And I love the fact that when we have these events in Charleston, that people are willing to listen to the public. So now's the time. If you got an idea, for Festival, don't take it to social media and say, why don't they do this? Or why don't get me started on that, boys. But you're asking for people.
Yeah. I mean, there are so many creative people in our community. I'm sure somebody's got some great ideas for whether it's theater or dance, music, visual art, anything like that. We'd love to hear your ideas, and we'd love to help you bring it to life.
And where can people?
FestivalCharleston.com.
All right. You all excited about Christmas? I mean, we just got over Thanksgiving. You all excited about that?
Gosh, trying to get my shopping done.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're at least thinking about it, that's more than what most guys have done at this point.
I think I'm buying most of my gifts from the TikTok shop this year.
Okay. Shop local.
I know.
He's kidding. He's kidding.
I am kidding.
He's kidding.
I'm going to Taylor Books after we leave
there
here.
You go. Yeah. Go to Taylor Books. Go to Capital Market.
That's where I get. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, all the places.
My old Daily Mail colleague Chuck McGill just took over there at.
He was
Capital
on the show
Market.
last week.
I heard it. It was great.
He was on the show. Well, half of it was good. His part was good. So I'm glad that all you folks from the newspaper business are finding gainful employment.
Yeah, I know.
Now.
The
That's
Daily
really
Mail
good.
crew's taking over.
That's it. You got McElhaney here, and of course, and you guys. So that's good. Amelia was Amelia a nice lady?
I think maybe she interned there years ago.
Okay.
That was before my time.
I was going to say she's a lot younger than we are, but I think she was a part of it as well. Hey, you feel free to hang out here with me 1 second since I double booked you guys. We got Sean Hill from KRT here. Sean, welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
And you guys actually, of course, it's Charleston. Everybody talks about Charleston being such a big town. Everybody in this town knows everybody. So when I inadvertently, and I'll go ahead and tell on myself now, I don't care. It was just one of those things. I walked downstairs and Zach was sitting there and I was like, please tell me you're not here to see me. And that's always the bright way to start a conversation first thing in the morning.
Yeah,
please tell me you're not here to see me. Normally I just say that to, police officers or something, but I said it to him this time. And we had a little mix up on the schedule. I forgot I had scheduled him for today, but you were a good sport about it. He was too. And so have him hang out here for a minute. But I wanted to have you on, Sean Hill from KRT, because a big announcement was made. You guys got some money coming in.
We did. And also to make you look even better, Dave, last month on Halloween, Zach and I worked together with the Charleston City Department of Art to unveil the newest art bus. So you've seen it around. It has some cryptid creatures on there. So KRT enjoys working with the festival, and Zach's doing a great job.
They're great partners.
Really looking forward to what he does.
See, this was my great plan. And
you had
all
it
along.
figured out. That was just a happy little accident.
Yes, yeah, exactly right.
Call that one.
All right.
No, you're exactly right, Dave. We're very thrilled that last week we were awarded a $21.25 million grant to really reconstruct a maintenance facility at KRT. It's one of those things that you don't think about a lot, and it's not as exciting to our passengers, but for us who realize how important it is to keep these vehicles running every single day, having an operations team is important, and having the best schedules is important, but keeping those buses running is the heartbeat of KRT.
If you don't have a bus out on the road, it doesn't make any difference.
It doesn't matter if I have the best looking schedule on the planet. If I can't get a bus that a driver can drive, it's not
and that facility that you've been using had a little age on it, right?
It did, yes. It's about 85 years old.
That's like Ron Hughes' age.
It's Ron Hughes-ish. I think he was there at the groundbreaking, maybe. But there were some challenges with that facility. Just the heights of the ceilings, etc., created a scenario where it was really hard to adapt to new technologies, new fuels, etc. And also just safety is our number one thing. So it was kind of like having a used car that you were continuously, every time you had to change the oil or put new tires on it, you don't want to do it. So we've been putting Band-Aids on this building for years, and this is the third time we've applied.
And where is the building again?
We're at 4th and Stockton, and that's where the building will be. What we're planning to do is essentially flip our parking lot with our existing maintenance facility. So for a portion of time, we'll be constructing a new facility on our parking lot, and then the next step will be to demo that existing maintenance facility and turn it into a parking lot. So we're just going to do a big flip. We're going to stay in our neighborhood. We love being on the west side of Charleston, and the community has embraced this change, and it's going to be a big deal for our passengers because that means our buses are going to stay on the road more often, less downtime. And again, I want to make sure I thank our federal partners, Senator Capito, Justice, Congresswoman Miller, even former Senator Manchin. We started this 3 years ago, and they helped with a congressionally directed spending award for us. So this has been a long time coming, but we didn't give up, and we're excited about it.
Sounds good. Again, we're talking with Sean Hill from KRT. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Bridge Valley Community and Technical College. Insurance agents are in demand of the state and all across the country. Bridge Valley can help you take that first step. Their insurance pre-sales licensure course will prepare you to set for the state-required property and casualty insurance licensure exam to start your career in this ever-growing field. Check out bridgevalley.edu for details. Bridge Valley Community Technical College, your career starts here. All right, so last time we had you on, you come on every now and then to talk about some upgrades and some different things going on. How's everything going? What's new?
Yeah, so it's going really well. Last time we were on here, we talked about adding 3 new KRT Plus zones. Those are the on-demand zones that individuals can get on their phone, or they can call into our office and schedule a ride. Those have been successful so far. The 2 routes that were replaced entirely by the KRT Plus on-demand project have been successful so far. We haven't had there was that concern of we want to make sure they overlap for a while so passengers can get used to it. So when the fixed route buses stop coming, it's not a huge impact. And I'm really happy and proud of my team for putting in the work to educate those passengers to make that as seamless as possible. And so far, knock on wood, we've accomplished that. So I'm really proud of that.
Do you see a uptick in ridership during the holiday season?
We do. It's kind of weather dependent. On days like today, sometimes people are less likely to get out, but we do see definitely our routes that go up to Southridge and some of the shopping centers. We see an increase, but again, it just depends on the weather. Also, do
you see people that maybe on a day that we have inclement weather that may choose if they have to go to work to, say, yeah, I'm not gonna risk this. I'm gonna take the bus.
We do actually. So that's why we were very cognizant of the fact that when the weather is harsh, to make sure we've got our street supervisors out and making sure that's safe for us. The good thing is a bus performs pretty well on snow. Mm-hmm. There's not a vehicle on the planet that does great on ice, but for snow, well.
Okay. I think you accidentally turned your microphone off there.
Oh, I did. Yeah. That's my fault.
That's right. I was saying. Yeah. I thought it. Say that again. Say that again.
Yes. That's my fault there. What I was saying was our vehicles perform extremely well in snow, but not so great on ice. And so, again, that's like any vehicle. So
sure, yeah.
On days that are rough weather, if you don't want to worry about taking the risk of taking your car out, hop on a KRT. We'll get you there. We'll get you there safely.
What kind of decisions? Now, again, and what we saw today is basically, here, I don't know what it is where our listeners are, but downtown Charleston, we got a little bit of snow there. It's almost nothing. It was raining when I came in this morning. Almost nothing here. Other areas, though, are seeing, a little bit more. But what goes into the decision when we do eventually get into winter and we have these bad situations? What goes into the decision not to run buses?
Exactly. So we have street supervisors who go out. They start at 2 or 3 in the morning, depending on the actual route. And they do exactly that. They drive the routes. They check them. They see, and every one of our street supervisors is a former operator, so they've driven the routes themselves, so they're familiar with what a bus is and isn't capable of. And then we relay that back to dispatch and we make the call of, hey, should we wait a little bit? Should we maybe open up this route a little bit later than normal and give the highways a chance to clear up the roads?
Basically like public schools.
Exactly.
For the most part.
Exactly. Yeah. With less pressure because we don't have the kids to get on school at time, but we do appreciate the responsibility of getting people to work on time. That's a huge priority for us. So we take it very seriously, but we want to make sure we're not putting anyone in an unsafe position. But thankfully, again, knock on wood, the last several years, we've had great success with weighing that. When should we stop and when should we not?
We had a text here that says, is the bus request available for people who work nights and don't get off till after midnight?
Right now, our on-demand service runs from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., so that's a little bit tougher. We're looking at expanding that service as it grows and as we see, more people adopt it. Right now, that won't be helpful for them. I hope in the future I can come on the show and say we get there.
We get more riders on it than expanded services.
Exactly.
Yep. Go back to the maintenance facility again. What's our timetable on that? Repeat that for us again.
So our timetable for that, we just received the grant. We are at 30% design, so we need to get to 100 before we can build anything. That's probably going to take the majority of 2026 that we'll be working with our architecture and engineering firm, making sure we have our plans solidified, and then construction can start hopefully late 2026.
All right. Okay, I have another quote. You're a popular guy. What happens to old buses that can no longer be used? Could you repurpose them to help out the animal shelter?
Yeah, so we've had a couple creative uses of our former buses. Margaret O'Neill at the United Way is converting one of our former smaller vans into a mobile grocery store for up in Clay County. We have donated a small bus to the South Charleston ROTC. We also put some of our vehicles just on Gov Deals. It's if you purchase anything with federal funds, that's the way if you're going to sell it, and we make pennies on the dollar. But yeah, we are open to ideas. If people have something creative they want to do, we're open to working with them, especially if it gives back to the community. That's what's important to us. when we get a lot of requests. But if it's just to drive around or turn into an RV or something, we're not as into that.
Yeah, but something to help out the community, and that's something maybe you could look at for the future. I'm sure that folks at the animal shelter would love to have that conversation with you.
It's always full of dogs.
Yeah,
cats.
I'd rather have that than people on the bus anyway. But that's just me because I'm weird that way.
Well, there you go. Right. We'll start a dog bus and just for Dave Allen.
I love it. All right, Sean from KRT and Zach. First of all, appreciate you both. Appreciate you sharing your time today too.
Thanks.
It was all by design, man.
Yep.
It
Sorry
was
for cutting myself off.
That's all right. We have all these fancy buttons in here, and it happens more often than you would think. I'm used to
danger button.
I'm not the one. Yeah, you can actually control your own microphones over there, which you just proved. So
I did.
So there you go.
Effectively, great job, guys.
All right. It's been a learning experience for all of us today. 9:22. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you by Husson's Pizza. Get the Husson's Holiday Pack, a large 18-inch pepperoni pizza, 10 breadsticks, 12 hot wings, and a 2-liter bottle of Pepsi, only $33.99. We'll take a break. We're gearing up for the championships over at Laidley Field. Football championships are happening this coming Friday and Saturday. Tim Brady from the Charleston CVB coming up next on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses are small businesses with big impact, including Generations Physical Therapy and Snap Fitness.
This holiday season, Poca Valley is grateful for the trust you place in us. We appreciate your business and the relationships we've built together at each of our 8 locations. And we're growing with a new branch in downtown Charleston opening in the new year. It's all part of being there for you when and where you need us. This Christmas, take time to cherish moments with loved ones and remember the reason for the season. From all of us at Poca Valley, Merry Christmas.
All law firms are not the same. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Office 222 Capitol Street, Charleston. Cases will be handled by West Virginia licensed attorneys. The attorney in this ad is not licensed in West Virginia. ForThePeople.com.
I'm Brett Harper, your Charleston Edward Jones financial advisor. We're all about financial investments, but we also value the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from teachers, coaches, and mentors. That's why Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Canal Valley High School football. Call Brett Harper at 304-932-0108 or visit edwardjones.com for all your investment needs. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
The latest in news, talk, and sports on 580 WCHS is brought to you by Jarrett Construction. Visit jarrett-construction.com for more information.
Right on time, right on budget. Call on Jarrett Construction.
924, you can hit the jackpot this holiday season with WV Bargains. You can save up to 60% off on items like certificates to Eddie's Tire and Service, pest control services from Spotlight Pest Control, a gas fireplace from Fireside and Patio, tent rentals from Quantum Party Rentals, 60% off car detailing services from Elk City Auto Spa, jewelry certificates from Pettit Jewelers, tax services from Penny Pincher, certificates to Dunbar Furniture, and more items all across the valley and literally all across the state and even across state lines. This is a WVRC media promotion, so all of our stations all around the state are involved in this. Runs through the end of the week this Friday. Go to WVBargains.com. And again, WV Bargains is a WVRC media promotion. We'll talk to the mayor of Clendenin, Kay Summers, coming up a little bit later on. They got big happenings Saturday. Speaking of big happenings here in the capital city, Friday and Saturday, championship day, as we'll be crowning some state football champions, Class Quad A. Friday at noon, Morgantown plays Martinsburg. Then Friday night, Single A, Wheeling Central and Clay Battelle. Saturday at noon, the Double A matchup between Bluefield and Frankfort. And then at 7 o'clock in a game with lots of local interest here in the Kanawha Valley. Class AAA, it is Nitro and Princeton. Tim Brady with the Charleston CVB. He's been a busy guy, and he joins us right now. Welcome to the show, Tim.
Thanks for having me, Dave. Always a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. You and I were talking off air, man. There's a lot of big happenings in and around the championships, and we'll get to that a little bit later on. But the thing I want people to remember is that when a city hosts championships, whether it was here or Wheeling, where it was before, or wherever, there's a lot more than just the game that goes on. You see upticks in restaurants and hotels and things of that nature. So let's get to that first.
Yeah, I think that, and that's sort of the idea behind, making the pitch to host these big events, because it does drive business throughout the city in places other than just, Laidley Field, for the example of the state high school football championships. I was telling you before we got on the air last year, the Saturday afternoon of the AAA game, Bridgeport versus Herbert Hoover last year. That night was the highest night of attendance at Light the Night at Gomart Ballpark. It was also the busiest day of the holiday season at Capital Market last year. And anecdotally, we saw a lot of Bridgeport and Hoover gear at those locations. Mm-hmm. So that tells you that people are coming into town for the football game. But, like that Saturday noon game, it's over by 3. You've got the rest of the day to explore Charleston. And it's such a vibrant place during the holidays. There's so much happening with Gomart Ballpark, the Light the Night at Gomart Ballpark, and holiday happenings at Capital Market, and Holly Jolly Brawley, and all the lights and trees in Slack Plaza and through Brawley Walkway. And, the city's just such a festive place. So hosting these events brings people in that, they have the time to go and do those things.
And if you look at, I said this on the show yesterday, I think it's a good cross section of West Virginia. Mm-hmm. We're happy to have Nitro in there.
Yep.
But let's face it, we don't want, on one hand, as locals, we'd like to have all local teams in there, but that's just not going to happen. We'd like to have as many as possible, but you got people coming from Princeton, from Bluefield, from Frankfort, from all those other, Wheeling, those other places that I mentioned.
Yeah. And it's actually a balance this year that's kind of nice, and it doesn't put too much stress on our hotel community, because don't forget, we're also hosting a pretty big Division I basketball game.
Yeah, there's that.
That Saturday night. And I think they're busting at the seams at the Charleston Marriott Town Center, over the weekend. But we have 4 teams that are staying in hotels, 4 teams that are not. It's bringing people from all over the state. But the thing about those local teams, they drive a lot of ticket sales. So we're happy to have Nitro. We're happy to have Chapmanville.
It's a good balance.
Like for sure. Yeah, it's a great balance. Yeah.
You want to have, like I said, a good balance of all, because, but you also want people that are going, because the statistics have proven, and you're in the tourism business, that when people come to an area for an event, whether it's a concert or whatever the case may be, and they see something they like, they're likely to come back, even if they don't take it in that time.
Yep.
They come in for a big event over at the Coliseum Convention Center or something like the football championships. They come in and they say, well, we didn't have time this time, but man, that restaurant looked really good. A lot of people were talking about that restaurant. They were talking about that coffee shop, talking about this retail establishment.
Right.
We're going to come back.
Yeah, that's right. That return visitation percentage for us is really high. We know, and, we do a lot of tracking. As you said, I am in the tourism business, sometimes. Sometimes I run football games. Sometimes I run bike races. But generally speaking, we track a lot of data, and we can tell if someone comes here and they have a good experience, they come back. We have a 70+% return rate. So, these events drive business, not just this weekend, but I promise you that hosting these football championships this weekend will drive business later in the holiday season, or in the spring, or in the summer. People will come here, they'll have a good time, and they'll come back.
Talking again with Tim Brady from the Charleston Convention and Visitors Bureau, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. Brought to you in part by the all-new Generations Ford of Hurricane, your family and locally owned Ford dealership. Generations Ford providing their customers with X-Plan, discount pricing on the purchase of select new Ford vehicles. You pay what Ford suppliers pay. Also offering 0% financing for new Fords. Check them out today just off the Hurricane exit, or online at generationsford.com. One destination for every generation, Generations Ford. See dealer for details. Yesterday I had Chief of Staff of the Goodwin administration, Matt Sutton, in studio. He was subbing for the mayor yesterday. And we talked a little bit about what Charleston learned from one year to the next. It is a continual learning process. Everything went off, as far as I know, without a hitch for your first year in a while of hosting it. But what are some takeaways from year one that you're going to take into year two?
Well, it's funny, and I could answer that question on a couple of different levels, but on a very micro level, here's one thing we learned. When the championships were in Wheeling, the way the stadium is set up, the locker rooms exit right out directly onto the field. At Laidley Field, you enter the locker rooms from behind the stands, so you actually have to go through the public areas to get to and from the field. So we learned a lot about making sure we kept all of the right people on the field and not letting people get out on the field, like walking out with it. You see what I'm saying? People would just sort of mingle in with the team and the coaching staff and just sort of like Forrest Gump their way out onto the sidelines.
Next thing you know, you got somebody 75 years old lining up at tight end.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Or, somebody's grandma's got the clipboard down there in the coach's box. So little things like that we didn't think about because, we hadn't had to think about it. So, we learned little things like that, but on the big picture side, one of the things that we learned is that the teams really appreciate the hospitality that we extend to them. There are 8 gentlemen who serve as team hosts. Every team, when they come to Charleston, has a person that is there local host that is their point of contact for anything they need. Whether a kid needs to go to an emergency dentist or somebody needs contact solution or, to and from the field, they're with them. We want to extend that hospitality because we want them to come here and not have to worry about anything but playing football. We also provide a meal to every team, and we work with locally owned restaurants to provide those meals to every team. So every team, when they get to Charleston, is going to come in on their bus, go to a restaurant, and have a nice sit-down meal provided by us through a local restaurant. So we learned a lot about that hospitality and how important it is. We put all these plans together not knowing how it would be received. The teams loved it. And the teams appreciate the hospitality, and they appreciate having that one person that is their point of contact. So the coaches don't have to worry about anything but coaching football.
I was going to say, I think the coaches would probably, appreciate as well, because at the end of the day, I mean, let's remember, you are dealing with 15 through 18-year-old kids, and things happen. As you said, emergency dentistry and things of that nature. And the coaches, they can just worry about the X's and O's.
And they don't have to get on their phone and Google where's the closest emergency dentist. They just call their team host, and the team host makes the arrangements, takes care of it, and it's all sort of done without anyone's, having to lose focus on the game.
How are the hosts chosen? I mean, do the people just volunteer?
Yeah, we put together a volunteer committee last year, and 8 guys that have some prior experience, either coaching or playing football, so they understand.
That would be very important.
So they understand, and I would list them all, but I know I'll forget somebody, so I don't want to do that. But they're all former coaches or players who understand. And a lot of them have either coached or played in state championship games, so they understand the magnitude of the moment and, the focus it takes to be in that arena. So they're happy to help and provide that sort of level of service to help their team. And, we found last year that the team hosts they developed personal relationships with the coaches and players and became invested in that. So they became just like an extra fan for that team on site. And it was a really great experience. And we got a lot of really positive feedback about that program that we put together. And I have to give a lot of credit on that to Mike Arbogast, who chairs our local host committee, former principal at South Charleston. Mike has put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into hosting this. I'm the guy that gets to sit here and talk about it on the radio, but Mike Arbogast does a lot of work on this, and he put that committee together, sort of handpicked, and he picked just great guys. And we have great tournament directors in him and Bryce Casto and Jim Hamrick. These guys, they love high school athletics. They love the sport of football, and we have created a committee that, and I haven't even mentioned the Thursday night academic awards banquet at the Marriott, where we recognize not only athletic accomplishment, but academic accomplishment, from athletes all over the state. So the committee that Mike put together, I think, has done a really great job of coalescing and creating this really great event for the city of Charleston.
Let's talk about that academic ceremony. I mean, give us all the details on that.
Yeah, so it's high school and middle school. It's both individual and team awards. It's selected by the SSAC, but it's based on grade point average, obviously. But there's also a community involvement component to it. So in individual sports and team sports, there are at the high school level 8 scholarship winners. We fund a small scholarship where the individual award winners will receive from the Charleston CVB a scholarship to for them to use in their postgraduate, post-high school education. It's what high school athletics should be about. Certainly everybody buys the tickets for the games and everybody wants to see the kids compete on the field, but these kids are excelling in the classroom too. So we want to make sure that we recognize that and honor them and encourage them to continue achieving at that high level.
Talking again with Tim Brady from the Charleston CVB, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Morgan & Morgan. If you're injured, hire Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. And what did the city get out of this last year? I mean, let's talk numbers here.
Yeah. So I'm going to answer that question 2 ways. Okay. One, I'm going to say the city invested in this to begin with, sure. and none of this happens without the full support of Mayor Goodwin and her staff and the city departments. Charleston Police are also a huge asset and a huge help in producing these events. So the city invests in this event. And then what the city gets back last year we estimated around a $4 million economic impact over the course of the 3 days, counting the Thursday of the academic awards banquet through the end of the game. So the city invests, but then the city does see that benefit. And I talked, anecdotally about the biggest day of Light the Night was the Saturday of the football championships, and we can draw some correlation there. We saw people out and about at Capitol Market and downtown and other parts of the city. We saw fans in gear in different restaurants. Like, we have eyes on the street. We might be working at the football field producing the games, but we have people out and about that see fans in their team gear all over the city. So, the economic benefit to the city is great. We talked about the return visitation. So it's really just an opportunity, not only for us to reap that economic impact the weekend of the event, but then setting us up in the future for return visitation and just continuing to organically grow travel and tourism in the Charleston area by producing these events and bringing people to town and showcasing this really vibrant city that we all love. And
we hope that the players that come from the faraway places, the Bluefields, the Princetons, the Wheelings, whatever, we hope that they will get an opportunity to take advantage of Light the Night and the tree, 164 trees downtown and the other restaurants and so on and so forth while they're here. We had a text that said would be cool for the city to collaborate with a few of these different escape rooms in the valley to create some holiday-themed escape rooms at different locations around town. I know it's not something necessarily that you would be in charge of, but it is kind of a cool idea.
Yeah, sure is. There's a bunch of those things, and they're super popular. They're not for me because I'm not that smart, but I'd still be there if I went into.
Has anybody seen Brady? He's been gone for 3 days.
He went to the escape room, and he's not smart enough to get himself out. So
good idea, though. That's a good idea. And we have the championships for how long?
It's 4 years. So we're in year 2 of 4 years.
Anything that fans, and we'll talk about this as we get a little bit closer, but is there anything, as far as that fans need to know before they go to the game about different policies, or is that something that you take care of? Or
yeah, I mean, Lately Field certainly has their facility policies. They're pretty standard for, most stadiums have the same policies. I would say the number one thing that I would encourage people to do if they're coming to the game is get on the SSAC website through GoFan and buy your tickets and have them on your phone in advance. You can buy tickets at the gate digitally, but it is so much easier and more efficient if you buy your tickets in advance, and then we can just scan you and get you right in and you don't have to wait. So I would highly encourage people to buy their tickets before arriving. And the other thing I will say is I would prepare for some wet weather this weekend at Lately Field.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we are in meteorological winter, as they say. That's my new favorite word, my new favorite term. It starts in December 1st. But I mean, and
we saw it this morning.
If you go talk to Fred and Chris and these guys that have worked these these, not tournaments really, but these championships over the years in Wheeling, they saw everything in Wheeling from, snowstorms to sleet to hot conditions. They've seen it all.
I was the red hat for many years for the Super 6 in Wheeling, and I was on the field for snow and rain and mud. Prior to the turf, when the field flooded, it was a mud pit. This first week of December, you can get just about any kind of weather.
And looking ahead right now, the high temperature, and this is always subject to change. High temperature on Friday is going to be about 41. Overnight, the late games probably be in the 30s. 40s would be the max, I think, the high temperature. But it's football championship weather. It's what it's supposed to be.
That's right. And don't listen to anything Fred says, because he's always nice and warm in the press box. He's not out there with the rabble.
He told me one time, he said, it was so bad. It was so bad on those kids out there. I had to pull down the shades in the press box, so I didn't have to look at them again.
He had to turn his foot warmer down because he was getting too hot.
All right, we got another text for you. Ever thought about turning Lately Field parking lot into a parking garage? That's really not something that you're in your purview. So.
Certainly, that facility is owned by the Kanawha County Board of Education, so that would be a question for Dr. Paula Potter. I would imagine.
All right, well, go ahead and answer it now. Anyway,
I've never thought about it. I've never thought about it.
This is how we have fun, because you just go, yeah, sure, let's do it.
Yeah, exactly. It's not my money. It's not my property. I think it's a great idea.
Tim Brady, this is why we're not allowed to play together much. I appreciate you being here, man.
Yeah, man, thank you.
Thanks a lot. It's 20 minutes away from 10. We're going to go to Clendenin and talk to Mayor Kay Summers when we come back on The Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Are you a physical therapy assistant and looking for an opportunity in orthopedics, wellness, and athletic care? If so, Generations Physical Therapy is offering flexible work hours and an upbeat atmosphere. With 7 convenient locations, Generations may have a job designed for you. Visit generationspt.com.
I'm John Carruthers, the owner of Best Virginia Heating and Cooling. I'm born and raised right here in West Virginia. I've got 3 daughters, so I absolutely care who comes into my home. Every technician we send to your home has been drug tested and background checked. I guarantee the best client experience or your money back. We have the best team and the best processes built around a 5-star experience. Call Best Virginia today at 681-655-1214.
Seasons are changing, the kids are back in school, and cooler weather is on the way. But one thing that always remains consistent is the car buying experience at Walker Chevrolet in Nitro. You see, that's because Gene and Ryan built their business the old-fashioned way by making friends. There are no gimmicks or games at Walker, just honest, fair deals, and the process at Walker is remarkably simple. They help you find a vehicle that you love at a deal that makes you smile. And don't forget, Walker is still buying cars too. Now, all makes and models are welcome, and they'll give you top dollar for it, even if you plan to buy somewhere else. But why would you? You know, it's good to know that in a world full of constant change, there are some things that remain consistent, and that some car dealers still believe in treating you like a friend with a smile and a handshake. Head to Walker Chevrolet in Nitro, in the shadow of the Interstate Bridge, just off the Nitro exit of I-64. Walker Chevrolet, making friends, one deal at a time.
When the Kanawha Valley needs to know, it tunes to 580 WCHS.
The president has discretion to determine what, in fact, is an emergency. So there's no analysis required on his part.
I think President Trump is bending over backwards to be helpful.
There's one man that is trapped underground.
Hopefully an end in sight with this stalemate.
Award-winning coverage delivered around the clock from the area's only 24-hour newsroom. The voice of Charleston is 580 WCHS.
Welcome back to the show. It's 9:43. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Rich the Realtor and Meeks Realty Group. Check this one out. 128 McGovern Road in South Hill. Split-level home packed with character and convenience. Just moments from downtown Charleston. Southridge, top-rated schools and fine dining suites. Got a new roof, newer HVAC, great living space, and architectural charm with easy access to everything. Contact Rich the Realtor for more information, 304-932-7488, or visit Rich, or email us at should say Rich Klein, that's Klein with a K, richklein66@gmail.com. Biggly Piggly Wiggly hotline, 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text, 304-935-5008. Welcome in our good friend from the town of Clendenin, Mayor Kay Summers. How you doing? Good morning, Mayor. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Dave Allen. How are you?
I'm doing fine. What's the weather report in Clendenin this morning, Mayor?
Well, the weather has been snowy. I thought there for a minute we were going to have a white day today, but it's already sort of turned to yucky and and rainish and that. So, but this morning it was beautiful, but I'm sure a little dangerous on the highway.
Well, hopefully. It's supposed to all be out of here by about midday. That's what they're telling us, and we're just going to be cloudy and cold. So, all right. So you got some big happenings this weekend in Clendenin, right?
Yes, first of all, I'm going to ask for prayer that we do not have rain or snow Saturday.
That's the one day you don't want it.
That's right. We have a big day Saturday. It's called Christmas on Main, and we have been doing this ever since I've been mayor in this administration. And it's December the 6th, and it's going to start at 12 o'clock on Main Street, and we're having all kinds of inflatables and games and different things for all ages. And then that's going on till 4, and then we're having a parade at 6. So people can already be parked and ready to watch the parade, and we have a lot of people that have already entered our parade, and we have the Herbert Hoover High School Band and the Elk River Band, Elk Middle School, and Clay, I think, is coming this year, too, cool. So we're real excited. And but we have a lot of things going, and I'm real excited about it, and I'd love for everybody to come up. We decorate all of our parking meters, and we have a contest of that, and we have a house decoration, and we have a business decoration contest, and that's all being done. And then the town decorates, and I sent you a couple pictures.
You did? I just talked about it on the air. I just talked about the pictures. I described the pictures on the air. How's that?
Listen, that's really good. You do a good job describing.
Well, somebody's got to have some sort of a skill.
Next year will be 10 years since the flood, and we've really come a long way in celebrating. And this is something we're really proud of. And we have the stage, and we're going to have some entertainment on that, and then we're going to have the awards for all those things I talked about on the 17th. And we're going to make that River City Ballet's coming up. The Elk Middle School Majorettes are coming. Some people are coming to sing. So that's going to be a fun night, too. And then a couple other things we were working on. May I say that,
Sure,
too?
absolutely.
Okay. And by the way, we have a blood drive that we feel is very, very important at this time of year. And that's Wednesday, December. And it is going to be from 1 to 6. So that is next Wednesday. So
you got a lot going on.
Yeah, we do. And we're still working on the Roxy Theater. That's still important to us. We're working on a lot of different grants, and we're working on some grants of getting the town all cleaned up and doing Main Street that. So we're working on and we're working on some special surprises as soon as we get the property to the old elementary school and the high school.
I want to go back. I want to go back and ask you about that Roxy Theater, because I'm kind of a sucker for old buildings like that, and especially old performing arts centers. Tell us what you know about the Roxy Theater.
What I know about the Roxy Theater, everyone we talked to did almost, I don't want to sound obscene, but they did their first in the Roxy Theater. They got their first movie in the Roxy Theater, Cowboys and Indians, or a love story. They got their first date, holding hands, maybe their first kiss.
All right, now you better stop there, Mayor. This is a family show, okay?
I know, I am. But it's wonderful. And, 25045 has taken that project on, and it's headed up by Cindy Tawney, and she's worked really hard and gotten a couple grants, and then the Harper Foundation has donated some money to it. And so it's going to be so much. It's going to be, some millions of dollars to get it complete. But we are working on it. Every day we get to do a little something. The plumbing's in now and different things. When we got it, it didn't have a roof. It had trees growing up in the middle. The back wall was falling off. So we've come a long way with that, too, as well. So, but everything takes money, and that's what we're working on. But we've had some generous donations from individuals, which has helped us quite a bit on different things.
Talking to the Mayor of Clendenin, Case Summers. It's 9:49. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Pinnacle Consultants. Pinnacle offers a 4-phase assessment for your properties: inspection, sampling, and analysis, comprehensive reporting and management planning. Check out pinnaclecorp.net, because what you don't know can't hurt you. You mentioned the next year is the 10-year anniversary of the flood, and it is amazing to me how, I was up there for a little bit after the flood. I mean, not during the cleanup or anything like that. I'm not going to go that far and say I was involved in that, but I was up there a little bit after the flood. And the devastation that I'm talking about a year or two later, and there's still things in the town that you can still see, that were wiped out by the flood. But the way that town, Mayor, the way your town and all the residents have recovered from that is absolutely amazing.
I am so proud of what the people here have done, but, more proud that we have the 2 new schools. We have the elementary school, and we have Herbert Hoover High School, and that's brought a lot of people into town. And we've had people that move here from California, Montana, Springfield, Massachusetts, Florida. I mean, it's unreal. And they come and they buy property, and because they can work from home, they can, use the computer and all that. And we're sort of an attraction right now. And, we have different things, outdoor activities for people, and going to do more. So it's really working. It really is. It's taken lots and lots of work and dedication and a lot of team effort from a lot of different people.
Mayor, have you got all the information about Saturday and all these events on the town's Facebook page or something like that?
Yes, we do, sir.
Okay,
yes, we do, and I think I've sent it to you.
Yeah, you did. Okay, I just want to make sure that everybody knows they can go there and check it out. So Saturday, fingers crossed, we'll get some good weather. And look, I just had on Tim Brady from the Charleston CVB. We got the football championships going on this week. Listen, we'll put a shout out to some of those people because they're going to be driving. Some may be driving right by the exit, on their way back to where they came from. So why not pull into Clendenin, and
that's right. I hope they do.
Take into town. Hey, Mayor, don't forget, I've got you tentatively booked. I'll get with you later on the Mayor Monday segment on the statewide radio next Monday. Okay.
Okay. Listen, one other thing.
Yeah.
We really supported Herbert Hoover High School, and we were in the playoffs.
Yep.
And so everything was based on Saturday on what our Hoover boys were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
So Coach Joey Fields looks at me and says, "Since you planned this on this Saturday, I'm not for sure you have a lot of faith in us." I said, "Oh, yes, I do. We were going to do the parade down Lately Field. We were going to do it down there."
I didn't even think about that. That's true. Hey, we had a quick text here that somebody wanted to ask, and they were very nice in the way they asked it. They wanted to know if you could consider upgrading all the city's street markers, even if you have to do a few at a time, because they say that they're sure that they're not cheap.
Let me tell you, I will tell you, we do have new street markers already. We've ordered them. And we are trying to find somebody that can install them properly and the way they should be installed, because they have to be dug and all that. So if that person is interested and knows someone that we can get, talking about professional or volunteer, but we do have the signs. They're beautiful. They were very expensive, and we are working on that. So that is something we've had for a little bit.
All right. So
I'm glad they asked that question.
Should they just reach out to you at City Hall, or is that the best way to do it?
Yeah, that number is 304-548-4192.
All right.
And because we really have the signs, they'll love them. They're beautiful. And I think they look a little classy for the town of Clendenin.
There you go. All right. Hey, Mayor, we got to let you go. We'll talk soon. Thanks a lot.
Hey, Dave Allen, thank you very much for always supporting us. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. It is 9:53, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part. We've been talking about it several times on the show today by your hometown baseball team, the Charleston Dirty Birds, and the Salango Law Light tonight. It's back at the ballpark, running every night through January the 1st, except for Christmas night. Please get your tickets in advance by visiting dblightthenight.com. Back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses bring first-class businesses to your community.
The high school football playoffs are underway. Get coverage with live and archived games, top plays, and in-depth analysis from Joe Mercado and Greg Carey. Plus our exclusive new interview series, State of Minds, and your favorite daily programs right on your smart TV or streaming device. Get more information at WVMetroNewsTV.com. Metro News Television is powered by the West Virginia Department of Tourism, Dan Cava Toyota, the WVHTC Foundation, WVU Medicine, and Trojan Landing Marine and Power Sports.
Fall is here, and the only thing that's falling faster than the leaves in West Virginia are the prices on Jeep Grand Cherokees at Walker Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Hurricane. Right now, Gene and Ryan have over 50 Grand Cherokees in stock, and each one of them have been marked down. Walker has the largest selection of Grand Cherokees in the Kanawha Valley, and all of them need new homes. Check this out. Grand Cherokee Limited with third row seating, now Walker priced with up to $11,000 off MSRP. And you know you're going to get the best deal possible at Walker because Gene and Ryan built their business the old-fashioned way by making friends. There are no gimmicks or games at Walker, just honest, fair deals. So don't wait. Take advantage of these great savings before Old Man Winter settles into the Mountain State for good. Take that short 20-minute drive from Charleston or Huntington to Walker Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, just off the Hurricane exit of I-64. Walker Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, making friends one deal at a time.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Live Healthy, West Virginia, presented by WVU Medicine, a podcast promoting healthier lifestyles in and beyond the state. Check out the latest episodes, WVMetroNews.com. under the podcast menu. Biggly Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Vitaylor text 304-935-5008. Let's get to some text. Text says, Lord of mercy. I love when texts start off in my kind of language. Lord of mercy. The Trump, actually, if I were going to do it in the southern West Virginia way, it'd be Lordy mercy. Anyway, the Trump administration sure stepped in it by double tapping the alleged drug smugglers. No worries, though. It's the MAGA Congress doing anything about it? No. Is the MAGA Supreme Court going to do anything about it? No. Does international law apply to the U.S.? No. U.S. military should be wary, though, and this administration's success goes uphill and blame goes downhill, says a texter. Text says, please remind everyone that all of the black stickers on every West Virginia license plate expired as of December 1st. Please pay your taxes. We have many roads to repair, says a texter. Metro News midday with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Baron-Amby coming up. State Democratic Party has some questions of the Morrissey administration about the deployment of the West Virginia National Guard in D.C. State Democratic Party chair, the state party was out with a statement about that yesterday. We have it, I think, on the website. State Party Chair and Delegate Mike Pushkin is going to join us to talk about that. And we're also going to have State Republican Party Chair Josh Holstein on the show today. Raleigh County Commissioner Daniel Hall is going to stop by. Hoppy Kirchville is here. Jeff Jenkins with the news. And going back to one of the Guard members, Sarah Bergstrom, who lost her life, there's already a move on to make sure she is properly honored. We're going to tell you that story. Of course, we'll get into Open Line West Virginia as well. Metro News midday with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Baron-Amby coming up at noon today, powered by Salango Law. On this show tomorrow, our good friend Stephen Allen Adams from Ogden Newspapers is going to stop by. We got interims coming up this weekend, so we'll talk to Stephen about that. More on the National Guard situation, too. And a little Jim Justice news with Stephen. When Steve comes on the air with either me or the Talk Line guys, we never know what we're going to get into. So he'll be on with us on the show tomorrow. Depending on where you are is going to weigh into what kind of weather you got overnight this morning. Very strange weather pattern. That famous warm wedge got us again. No complaints from me. I'll say I got to the office early, like way early this morning because I had a lot to do, and I was subbing for a time for Jenny Murray over on V100. By the way, big shout out to Jenny Murray. She had a little procedure done today, so she'll be off for just a little bit. It was fun. I had fun hanging out with Mr. Bishop this morning over on our sister station. And I'll tell you, when I drove in this morning, like I said, it was early. It was like just after like 5 a.m. or so. It was nothing but rain. And I mean heavy rain on 64 East into Charleston. Bigger issue with hydroplaning than anything slick this morning, I can tell you that. Well, it did turn to snow. Interestingly enough, though, in Tays Valley, very little snow there, 10 miles down the road, an inch or two. You know, that's just how these things work out. I'm no weatherman, but I frequently play one. So TJ Meadows is here. How you doing, man? All right.
Works better when you turn it on.
Well, earlier Sean Hill accidentally turned his off, so there you go.
There you go. I'm good. How you doing?
You want to hear a really, really quick funny story I learned from Steve Bishop this morning? So Bishop, is quite the traveler around the state. He runs and rides bikes, whatever. And he went down to my native land in Logan County because he wanted to see the Devil Anse Hatfield statue.
Yeah.
And he thought he got turned around, so he went to this guy's house and asked where it was. The guy said, "Do you know Dave Allen?" And it gets better. The guy's name was Skeeter.
Skeeter. Word up, Skeeter.
Word up. Them's my people.
I agree with Jenny.
All right, what do you got on the show today? Quickly, what do you got?
We got National Weather Service updates coming up at 10:06. Retired Coast Guard Admiral at 10:33 on this Hegseth thing. Did we order a double shooting of this boat? Were these people crippled in the ocean and we shot and killed them? We'll find out whether or not it's legal. Also coming up at 11:06.
All right, you're out of time.
I'm out of time. See you.
I'll see you later today. Till then, have fun and love somebody.
WCHS AM 96.5 FM Charleston and 104.5 Cross Lanes, a WVRC media station. We're proud to live here too.